Anand Mahamre is one of our senior persons in this, well versed in this local self-governance. For several years, he has been a Sarpanch of village Shurao Model. He is head of Panchayat cell of ruling Bharatiya Janata Party. Then he is presently a member of this Golden Jubilee celebration and quite a person with vast experience in agriculture and our Panchayati Raj. So I will call him up and I will request him to make his presentation.
The chairperson of today's discussion here, Mr. Kamath, Secretary of the RTI Forum, Mr. Parvi, and my friends in the audience. Mr. Barve, in his first presentation, has put up a very good idea on anytime information center in the panchayat. The suggestion is very ideal, no doubt. But we have to see the reality of the situation, whether it is possible to implement this suggestion at the level of the panchayat, and whether there are many other very important issues than this which the local self bodies or panchayats are facing today. Not only panchayats, the municipalities too. And one of the very important issue that should concern all of us as citizens of this state and citizens of this country is the idea of decentralization. The aim with which the 73rd and the 74th amendment to the Constitution was passed by the Parliament was to make these bodies at the village level and the taluka, at the level of the cities or towns as bodies of governance at that level. I am not talking about taluka panchayats and jilla panchayats. The whole idea of passing these two amendments was that we should have governance at the level of the village as well as at the level of the town or city where our municipalities, and to make them centers of self-governance by giving them the required powers, the functions, the vitamin yam, that is very important. Resources, manpower, there are many yams there. It is not only money that is required, the manpower. An ideal situation that Mr. Parve has requires manpower. Do the panchayats have the manpower to implement such suggestions? That is what we have to examine. So our concern today of the people should be to see how these powers which are supposed to be given to these bodies will come to these bodies, panchayat. Now in that what is lacking? First is election. You see, whatever the state election commission that we are having today, it should function as central election commission. Starting from, you must have seen, any time the elections of panchayats or nagar palikas come, there is a big controversy on division of wards, demarcation of wards, reservations, and a very big interference by the concerned, especially the, you can say, whoever rules at that time. Okay. So this reform has to come first. So our RTI, or the whole force of the RTI has to be actually now used to see that. You see, the irony of the situation and that in India, when the laws are made, the citizens have to fight to get the laws implemented. All good laws are made. But if they are to be implemented, the first is the willpower of the government at that time. This is the first important thing. Second is the willpower of the Janata also. The Janata is the biggest here. But if you ask the Janata, they will say, dump this panchayats into the Arabian Sea. Many of the people, experience of the people is that if you ask them about Sarpanch or the member of the panchayat or a Nagar Sevak, they will say dump them in the Arabian Sea. But we are not talking here about individuals, we are talking about a system. The system is not bad. The institutions are not bad. They have been made bad by a collusion between the Janata and the person who are in the power. It is not only, don't blame the panchayat members, don't blame the Sarpanch, don't blame the Nagaraध्यksha or Nagar Sevak only. We the Janata are equally responsible for all the ills that are plaguing our society. So what are those things that we have to first get the government to implement? One is the proper functioning of the election commission, so that a proper transparency is brought into the system of election, which includes demarcation, which includes reservation, so that no complaints come. If all this work is given to the state election commission, perhaps there is some sort of discipline that would come in the process of the election. So starting from the election. What is the second aspect that needs to be, there is an article in the 73rd and 74th Amendment and also in the Goa Panchayat Raj Act that there should be a state finance commission which has to be appointed every 5 years. Every 5 years. So if we say that 97 was the date on which the first election took place in Goa for the panchayats under the new Panchayat Raj Act, then there should have been so far 3 finance commissions. 3 there should have been so far. First finance commission was appointed and it remained only on the notification stage. Dr. Hemant Karapurkar was the first chairman of the first finance commission. It remained only on paper. It never functioned. Second finance commission was appointed under the chairmanship of Dr. V.F.Y. Panandikar at the time of presidential rule in Goa, when Mr. Lieutenant Jacob was the governor. A nice, so many good recommendations were made. Of course, they are advisory in nature, and all the functions what are to be given to the panchayats, how much funds are to be distributed to the panchayats and the Nagar Palikas, all that was it was put into cold storage. Without it. In fact, once the report of the Finance Commission is submitted to the government, it should be tabled in the House. And the House has to decide what is to be given, what is not to be given, how much is to be accepted and all that. But it was never placed in the Assembly. Without doing that, the second Finance Commission was constituted under the chairmanship of late Mr. Alban Kuto, retired IAS officer. That commission submitted its report in 2007. And now that it also had the same faith. It actually decided that over a period from 2007 to 2012, 1,800 crores should be distributed to all these panchayats, Nagar Palikas and the Jilla Panchayat. Never happened. And now the third Finance Commission is due. Again, one more Finance Commission may be appointed. Its report will come and it will be again put into cold storage. Of course, the panchayats, the Jilla Panchayats, the all Goa Panchayat Parishad has been fighting to get this, but there is no support coming from the people. Because what is people's opinion? They don't like the panchayat. Given the situation, probably many people may say it should not be panchayat. Okay. So there should be a close cooperation between the people and the panchayats, nagarpalikas to fight for the right given under the 77 and 74 Act. Mr. Prakash Kamat talked about the activism in the Gram Sabhas. But no Gram Sabha has so far passed a resolution saying that what is given to us by the 73rd and 74th Amendment should be given immediately. If we have 189 panchayats and odd number of nagarpalikas, and if they all decide that we will have a big morcha from all these villages and all these towns for the implementation of all these things that are given to the panchayats, will the government function? Will not the government be forced to give all these rights to the panchayats? No, isn't it? But the Janata will not come forward for this. So these are so many things that are there. District planning committee. What is the concept of Panchayati Raj? That planning should come from below. Today we see that schemes are planned in Delhi. They are based on what is the situation in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, and they want us those to be implemented in Goa, where the situation is very different. The daily wage in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar may be somewhere in the range of 100 rupees, here we have to pay 300 and 350. And they want to ask MG, Mahatma Gandhi Narega scheme to be implemented with 150 rupees as daily wage. Is it possible? So what the Panchayati Raj amendment wanted was that the planning should start from below. The village should have its own development plan. All the village development plans should be consolidated by the Jilla Panchayat. There will be a district planning committee, and the district plan will go to the state. Then from that state will form its own plan, and then the central plan will form. It will not come down from up. Every state, every village should have the freedom to devise schemes that are suitable for their own situation. So when we have so many things that are to come, and RTI can be very effectively used right from the top, because it is the responsibility of the center also. But what is happening is that whenever any laws are framed, we are very good at, what you call interpreting. Even the simple words like shall and we, they will say shall. So when it is shall, they say it may or may not be. Shall or shall not. It is not mandatory on the state. So, and then we have got lawyers and others who will, interpret all these words to their own advantage. And the implementation of law becomes a problem. So there are so many things that are necessary that we have to fight with the help of RTI to get implemented. What has been given in 17, it came in 1993. And today we are in 2012. 20 long years just to implement these two amendments, 73rd and 74th Amendment, and nothing is being done by us together. Well, coming to the ATI, anytime information, the Goa government has come out with what is called as Goa Broadband Network Project, GBBNP. That project has connected the state headquarters, the district headquarters, the taluka headquarters, the panchayats, and at present all the institutions, the educational institutions in the state, with a wide area network. So therefore, any information about the various schemes and other things are available today with the panchayat. Now this information, panchayats and educational institutions. Of course, a detailed implementation procedure has not so far been, perhaps all Goa has not been covered as yet. So therefore, how this is to be implemented. In fact, it is the idea of all this exercise is to make services, better services available to the common citizen. Okay. So therefore, with the help of this broadband network, any citizen in the village can access. Now, if the panchayat can provide a separate computer, net, I mean, this is a net connection. Okay. So if they can provide a separate computer for any citizen to come and access and find out anything about all the schemes that are available with the government, then one of your concern, of course, what you are talking about is a different thing. I will come to that later. But this is one of the way by which the educational institutions, panchayats can be made a center. Because what we want is anything should be available in the village. So every village may not have a cyber cafe. Some of them are having at the moment. But the panchayat can itself become a cyber cafe. They already have some computers which have been supplied. The schools have the computers which remain unused in the evening sessions. They can be made open to public for accessing. And they can be used as information centers. You have information right in your village because most of our villages do have an educational institution. So anytime information about the schemes, procedures and all that can be available. The whole idea of this particular GBBS network is to see that whatever certificates that the people require at the level of the village panchayat are available within the shortest possible time. Okay. So, this is one. Now, I have been the sarpanch of the village for quite some time, almost 3 terms, 15 years. And in my opinion, every member of the panchayat or a nagar palika, whatever it means, they should be themselves first aware of the, there are so many acts is there are rules are there, there are so many schemes, especially of the rural development. But if you go to the reality, the situation is not very good. The members of the panchayat themselves and the sarpanch himself is unaware of the provisions of the Panchayat Raj Act. Why are you talking about members of the panchayat? The secretary who is supposed to implement the Panchayat Raj Act, assist the panchayat in implementing the Panchayat Raj Act, may not be aware of all the rules, all the regulations. So this is one of the things that is very important. Aware of rules and all the rules that are there. Without knowing this, how will you be able to implement? See, there is a system of information, giving information. All the information that comes to the panchayat, a lot of information comes. There was a system earlier in our villages that we used to have a beat of drum, any information that comes, Pyargaon. See, even when I was the sarpanch, Pyargaon was one of the important mode of disseminating information. Apart from that, I used to send, the notices to all the churches and chapels because in the case of our Christian brothers, Mass once a week is a must. So the priests were very kind enough that any notice that comes from the panchayat is informed after the Mass. So a large section of the people automatically come to know that this is going to happen, this meeting is there, that information has come, this is to be supplied, all those things. So this was one of the, and then of course among the Hindu brethren you just put up some notices on the temple notice boards or wherever, and public places. This is one of them. Today it comes by, with the help of mic and all, now they are disseminating. The panchayat should have adequate number of notice boards, so that much of the information that comes can be displayed on the notice boards. Now, adequate training is one of the very important aspects. The panchayat functionaries, there are how many government functionaries are there at the panchayat level? The secretary, the gram sevak, wherever there are fisheries villages, there is a fisheries gram sevak. wherever there is a talati, all these functionaries at the village level need to be adequately trained if they have to give information to the public. You know, what is the information that a public requires? You know, when I was the sarpanch, all sorts of information the people used to come and ask me. Even now when I am not a sarpanch today, they come to me for seeking advice on different matters. Now how do you get all this information? You must be a good reader. You know, you must know to access information. You must have contacts. You know, you can get us the information. If you say that the sarpanch is the village head, he must be such a person that who will be able to access all this information and thereby help not only the sarpanch, even the members of the panchayat, and they are able to help and disseminate this information to the people. Now, is it what is going on in the village panchayat? That is what is a concern. Another thing very important. Every panchayat must have the government gazette. When I was a sarpanch, I used to contribute to the government gazette. Most of the information, most of the schemes. You see, the panchayats can have libraries. If there are panchayat, there is a scheme in the scheme that every panchayat, wherever there are no libraries, they can have a library. They can get grant for book, they can grant for the personnel, they can appoint a librarian. Of course, he doesn't get the scale and all that, but some unemployed person in the village can act as a librarian. And even if they don't have a library, that every panchayat must contribute maximum number of newspapers. And along with that, they can keep the gazette, there should be separate files. You know that there are 3 or 4 series. So that anyone getting information, because most of the schemes that are of the government are published in the government gazette. So those can also be kept into the panchayat. Some panchayats, of course, which are well-to-do, so they are having enough funds, can have their own websites. And they can, you know, there is a scheme in the, Director of Panchayat is not there yet. But what he told in the inaugural function of the Golden Jubilee celebration was that in time to come, in the next 2-3 years, they want all the Panchayat records to be, you know, computerized. So naturally, the services can be disseminated better. Now, another very big concern in the panchayat is proliferation of corruption, illegalities. We have heard last 2-3 years we had such a big debate on regional plan. So panchayat should be made participatory in having a regional plan. So I attended one of the meetings. In fact, I was also associated because I am not in the committee, but as a former sarpanch, they invited me to join in the deliberations of these RP committees in the village level. But what was the year that everybody wanted that their land should become a settlement zone. And in the meetings of the Gram Sabha, this was the main thing. That my plot is not in the settlement zone, put it in the settlement. The committee members themselves sought to eat, that some of the committee members sought to eat, that their areas which were in green zone were converted into settlement. So, and what is the use of having all this RP? When you see that today if you go to the village, you will find a rampant illegal constructions even in the fields, farms. And when there is no control on these, then how will the RP regional plan can be implemented? So these are some of the important concerns that we have, and RTI should be used in order to expose these irregularities. Not only that, it is not only that people are constructing in their own plots, they are also encroaching on other plots. So very serious concern. So when you have all these issues, you see, we do not have a as you said, this anytime information. At the moment, in 3 villages of Goa, a total socio-economic survey is going on. You are mentioned in your presentation, you did not say it, that the Goa government is trying to give impetus to agriculture and animal husbandry. You see, there is no agricultural census available in Goa. If you want information about any village, that is not available. Without which no planning can take place. So at the moment in my own village, in fact I was a little reluctant to come for today's seminar, but since I had assured Mr. Burke that I would come, because the census people are today in my own village creating awareness among the people. You know what happens many times? Citizens are not ready to give correct information. If you ask them what is your income, if the real income is 1 lakh, they would say it is 10,000. You see. So we have kept some meetings today in each and every ward to prevail upon the citizens that you give correct information. This is not going to go to income tax or anything. We are just trying to have some villages selected as model villages and develop them agriculturally and using all these schemes, animal husbandry and other schemes. So this was sort of a creation of, so we should have this type of survey in all the villages. There lies the importance of, decentralization. If as what Mr. Parvez suggested, if you have any type of way, then you must have, it's a big task. Knowing how many people are unemployed. You must have an house-to-house survey. Why unemployed only? How much of the land, farmland in a village is being cultivated? Why? How much is fallow? Why it is not being cultivated? What are the incentives that are required? What sort of jobs are you ready to do? All sort of this information if the panchayat has to do. Because if we say they have to do development plans, if they have to do development plans, then they should have the survey first. What is there presently? What is the present picture? Then only you can do a development plan. And where these development plans are to be done, see, we have to talk about participatory democracy now. See, there are so many issues. What is happening in Gram Sabhas are fights. They are not participatory democracy. You see, what happens is that somebody is proposing something and there will be another group which will be opposing. This is what mostly goes up in the Gram Sabhas. That is not what is. We have to function, as we grow. We say that Goa is a very enlightened state. That our literacy is 87% and 90%. And we are forgetting about basic of participatory democracy. We should have discussions at the level of the panchayat, not fights. And in this discussion, the enlightened people in the village, the experts, people who have retired from different fields, engineers, town planners, agriculturists who have settled there, different type of people. Not many people are coming and settling in villages now. Their expertise must be made use. They should be made the members of the committees. There are different types of standing committees. Today there is a concept of ward development committee. Now you have to involve all these people, and along with the member of the panchayat, we have to have a participatory discussion, a very good high level discussion, and we have to come to the conclusion. What will be the way, what is the model of development that we are going to adopt for our village? So unless and until we do that, the fruitful discussions will not take place in the Gram Sabha. Today it is just chaos. And you cannot deny, you may object to, mega projects, you are objecting to this, that. Ultimately, who are the people who are selling land in the villages? The land is being sold by our own brothers and sisters. Either they have already migrated out, or they want to migrate to a city, so they don't want what is there in the village. So first, what is important, the awareness has to come to their stage. Baba, you don't sell your land. If there is a seller and there is a buyer, and the buyer has some intention of making money, then naturally he has got the right, the constitution gives him a right to construct or do development of whatever he has got. So we cannot. And so there has to be awareness in all this. So therefore, one important, we should fight for some control on sale of land, like in other states, agricultural land can only be sold to an agriculturist. You see, today in my village, which is an island, the rate of land is shooting up every year, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. And tomorrow, if there is a talk of a bridge between Charawa and Parwari, Salvador, it will. And already people have started purchasing. Who are the sellers? Our own local brothers and sisters. Houses are being sold, land is being sold. So somewhere this has to stop, and that is why we can use our RTI very effectively. Why not that law that bans sale of agricultural land is not coming? So there are so many issues that are there in the villages, and people in the villages must form a lot of NGOs. Like, you cannot say that we have to do these things, and discussions are okay, good. Why not your discussion be take place in a hall in a village, where people from the village come and participate? Because none of them probably will come to international center. We should have most of these discussions specifically in regarding panchayats and their powers in the villages, so that people are aware. These are some of my thoughts. I don't know whether I have bored you, but these thoughts have come from experience of working. I would rather more believe in working at the grassroots level rather than having an academic discussion. And we should have ideal panchayats. Always where situations are ideal. And if the panchayats have to be ideal, then people with wisdom have to participate more and more in the elections of the panchayat. But what they do, they are migrating from villages to cities. And then we have academic discussion by sitting in the cities. People have to go back to villages. The population of most of the villages is going down because people are migrating to cities. And more educated people with foresight, have to become members of the panchayats. Unless or until that happens, the situation will become worse and worse. Because we have seen, you see, there was a time, you can say before 97, you will find that a lot of teachers, lot of educationists, lot of people were there in the panchayats. And the change then was different. The elections then were also different. But what you today see, there is no stability in the panchayat. The moment the elections are held, the terms of the panchayat, the sarpanch and the deputy sarpanch are divided. If there is 11 member, maybe 6 months or 9 months. If it is 5 members or 7 members, it will be 1 year. If there is no stability, can you expect progress? So there are so many issues that we have to ponder about. And I think, you see, there was stability once upon a time because to have a no confidence motion, there was 2/3 majority was required. And therefore naturally there were less and less no confidence motions. So that is not happening now. And in this chaos, what happens is the development of the village suffers. So we have to again use RTI to put these things in order. Whether we should have, I have raised some of these questions in, whether we should have even the parties contesting election. Because if the parties contest and people get elected on the party symbol, maybe some sort of control by the party may be there and stability will come. Or should we have again 2/3 majority to have a no confidence motion? Or should there be some electoral law or rules should be changed in order to bring stability at that level? So there are many things to ponder over. Thank you for patient listening. If you have any questions, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mamre, for your very informative and educative speech based on your experience in this field. You have raised a lot of pertinent issues which would be a real fodder for discussion now. Like you said, you have gone to the basic crux of the matter. Basic issue is idea of whole decentralization, which was meant to be given under 73rd and 74th Amendment, because that itself has not percolated. So that is why our panchayats are not becoming centers of self-governance. Then you have said that we want reforms. Reforms even in regards to our very act, Panchayat Act, whether there are limitations. Like we saw during election times, as you rightly pointed out, lot of problems, lot of interferences, all that come out. So we have to strengthen this election commission itself. We are making assurances. Government assures when people shout during the election. Beyond that, what exactly happens? So, as you rightly said, people have to be vigilant and people have to forcefully also stand up for this kind of things. Will of the government and will of the people. Unless will of the people influences or pressurizes government, nothing moves. That we have seen. Then you have spoken about adequate training for panchayat functionaries. That is also one of the aspects. Then various suggestions you made about records being made available, government gazette, libraries and whatnot. Then you have also raised the issues of proliferation of corruption, illegalities, because that is the area. Why there is no this transparency? Why they don't want to share information? Basically, it is because of all this.